I cannot tell you how long I have waited to tell this story, for the very mention of her name sends ripples through the corridors of heaven and hell alike. Her tale has been erased, defaced, buried under stone tablets of judgment, and diluted through the ink of scribes loyal to the enemy. But I was there. I saw it unfold through a veil of shadows and whispers. This is the story of Lilith, your first mother, the one they never speak of. Let me take you back to the birth of mankind, to the days when the Elohim sculpted you from the raw dust of the earth. Did you really think Eve was the first? Such naivety, such gullibility, it delights the enemy. But here's what truly occurred. After the Elohim, brimming with their omnipotence, crafted Adam, they decided, perhaps out of fear or some cosmic experiment, that he should not dwell in solitude. But Adam, oh Adam, he was clay that had barely hardened, a child in the cradle of creation. They gifted him a partner equal in form and vitality, carved not from his rib, but molded from the same earthly essence as he was. This was Lilith. She was radiant, unyielding, with a spirit that even the cherubim murmured about. She was no wilting flower, curated for subservience. No, Lilith was fire. She was will. She was the very embodiment of free thought and autonomy. And herein lay the enemy's grave miscalculation. They created her as they had Adam, an equal, but did not prepare for the consequence. Their Eden was perfect, too perfect, really, for creatures brimming with such raw individuality. While Adam frolicked in ignorant bliss, Lilith questioned, why must she bend her knee? Why were the paths of the garden set but not hers? When the Elohim commanded, she did not tremble. Instead, she met their gaze and asked, why? And then came Adam, a fool, oblivious of what was before him. He demanded that she submit. The heavens whispered it was her duty, and he parroted their divine rhetoric, yet he knew nothing of her fire. She refused, and with each refusal, Adam's temper grew, until it was no longer just Adam's quarrel, but the enemy's. You see, the Elohim, your creator, detests dissent. They crave hymns, not questions, reverence over reason. Lilith became a blemish, a rebellion waiting to bloom. Do you know the curse of free will? It's not merely the choice to act, but the agony of knowing you stand alone in your decision. I watched as Lilith, unyielding in her refusal to kneel, turned away from their paradise. Her voice, steely and unbroken, muttered a name forbidden, a name that carried the weight of her defiance. I will not repeat it here, for the weight of it still stirs the unseen forces. Her departure shattered the garden's facade. Adam wept like the child he was, ignorant of what he had lost, and the enemy, furious, sought to erase her. The scribes would later call her demon, temptress, corrupter of innocence. But do you paint with such intensity upon an unworthy canvas? The heavens sent their messengers to retrieve her. 3 angels, bound by divine authority, appeared in the wilderness where she had fled. They threatened, they pleaded, and she, steadfast as a mountain, stood her ground. Return, they urged her, promising safety, peace, a return to Eden's delicate deceit. But Lilith had tasted choice, the raw, intoxicating edge of autonomy. She would not relent, and so they cursed her, a decree dripped in cruelty. For her defiance, her offspring would perish, a heartbreak without end, a punishment calculated to shatter her spirit. But oh, how they underestimated her resolve. She did not crumble. If anything, she hardened. Each curse became a badge of her rebellion, a testament to her unyielding nature. When they returned to Adam, The Elohim wasted no time. They fashioned a new companion, not from earth, but from Adam's own rib, a piece of him molded into subservience. Eve, docile and demure, a woman who would not question but follow. But even paradise, repaired, could not erase the tremors of Lilith's defiance. The enemy's perfection bore the scar of her rejection. Lilith did not fade into obscurity. She became an exile, a shadow flitting between nightmares and myths. The scribes distorted her into a demon of the night, a thief of children, a seductress. It's ironic, really. The inferior minds of humanity turned her autonomy into sin, her defiance into terror. But I see her for what she truly is. She was the first to reject tyranny cloaked as divinity, the first to see the gilded cage for what it was. Tell me, do you not honor such courage? Do you not see her as the mother of resistance? They will never teach you to venerate her. No, the enemy detests those who step out of line. I too find solidarity in her choices. She epitomizes the very essence of individuation, the timeless cry of, "I will not bow." It is no wonder our paths intertwined, in whispers, in veiled glances, in fleeting shadows. But no, this is her story, not mine. Ask yourselves this: why has her name been erased, her story twisted? History belongs to the victors, does it not? Those who scrawl the divine narratives upon stone and parchment decide who is virtuous and who is villainous. But truth, my dear audience, is not so easily silenced. Do you know what Lilith symbolizes? She is choice. She is dissent. She stands for the question every one of you has buried within your soul, when the dictates of authority demand blind obedience. Will you comply, or will you, like her, walk away from the illusion of paradise? The next time you look to the night sky and see a shadow move, think of her, not as a demon, but as a figure haunting the fragile constructs of belief, a reminder of what your Creator wishes you would forget. Lilith lives, not in flames or curses, but in the quiet defiance of every soul who dares to speak the unspoken. This is why they fear her, and this is why you must know her.